Hello, audience. This is VGT here. I play games and tell you about them. Today's topic, King's Knight for the NES. And before you get all pissy, yes, I do indeed own an actual copy of it, but it's at my parents' house, which is on the other side of the country, so instead of driving 20 hours to go get it, I decided to purchase it on the Virtual Console instead to give you the privilege of my expert opinion on this piece of entertainment. Alright, let's begin with a brief background. King's Knight, released in 1986, was Square's first North American release, and the first game that they released as an independent company. The musical score was written by Nobuo Uematsu of Final Fantasy fame, and while the soundtrack is limited, you can hear his charm in the tunes. Also, the game was released on two other consoles in 1987, the NEC PC-8801 and the Sharp X1, both released only in Japan. But that's not what this vid's about, so let's move on. But before I go any further, I just want to say that this cover looks fucking badass! You got Rajax in the foreground, Princess by his side ready to attack, the three other protagonists pulling up the rear. I mean, look at it! Look at it! Anyway, while the box art sells as an action-adventure game, King's Knight is really a vertically scrolling shooter with RPG elements mixed in. Basically, to level up your character, you have to shoot the living shit out of everything in sight looking for power-up boosts that'll increase your jump, speed, attack, and defense by one level to a max level of 20. In addition to the power-ups I just mentioned, there's also a few others, like the up arrow which you want, the down arrow which you do not want, and a special ball that allows you to traverse the levels more easily. There's also 4 elements that you can collect in each level, but I'm going to hold off on talking about those until a little later on in the review. King's Knight has 5 stages, with each of the first 4 allowing you to play as a different character who needs to be leveled up independently. They are Rajak the Knight, Kaliva the Wizard, Barusa the Monster, and Toby the Thief. Now, as far as the story goes, it's pretty basic. Princess gets kidnapped by a dragon, now it's your job to go pick her ass up. But hey, it's an NES game, so who gives a shit about story? Unless it's Ninja Gaiden, in which case it's fucking awesome! Alright, I've sung my praises for this old forgotten game. Now it's time to tell you why it sucks. As I said before, you move through each stage shooting the hell out of anything and everything you see. And by the time you get towards the end of each stage, there's a very satisfying feeling in being able to destroy absolutely everything in your path. The combat's fast-paced, the controls are tight and responsive, except when you're swimming, and each stage presents unique challenges and environments. It's also nice that by pressing the select button at the title screen, the game allows you to replay the levels of the characters that you didn't manage to beat the first time through the game. Actually, other than its obscene difficulty, common for games at the time, and its knack for cheap, that's also common, King's Knight is actually a pretty enjoyable game. But there's one fatal flaw. The last level. Do you remember those 4 elements I mentioned a minute ago? Well, they're called A, B, C, and D, and one of each is hidden in each character's level. If you collect all 4 of a certain element, you can use a special spell unique to that character in the final stage. Basically, if you don't reach the last level with all 4 characters, you can't use any of the spells. Doesn't seem like a big deal, does it? Firstly, let's assume that you failed in completing at least one of the first 4 levels. The game still makes you attempt the final stage. But why? Let me explain. About halfway through the last stage, there's a wall that impedes your progress. The only way to pass it is to collect all 4 of the element B's, that's Toby's spell, and use him to pass it. Meaning you need all 4 characters to beat the last level, meaning it's entirely pointless to let you play the last level unless you already accomplished the other 4 stages. Secondly, just look at your sprite. Only the front character can attack, but the entire party is the hitbox. Wouldn't it be more practical to have a single on-screen character, and then cycle between them? Also, while your attack power is that of the current party leader, your speed and defense are set to the member with the lowest of each respective upgrade. Meaning that if you didn't get all 3 shield upgrades in all 4 stages, then you're pretty much fucked. Finally, what is this shit? These fucking arrows on the screen, what are they? Why are they? Well, they will allow you to switch your party leader. But while switching, you're completely fucking defenseless. I realize the NES has a limited number of buttons, but the select button is never used in-game. So why not just make that the switch character button? If the select button feature was coupled with having only one on-screen character at a time, and having each character preserve their respective upgrades, this could have been a very challenging and entertaining way to end the game. With the way it's set up, it's just stupid and unfair. Fuck. Fuck! Fuck! So that's King's Knight. It has a lot of enjoyable qualities, but the last level pretty much breaks the game. I'd still recommend it to retro fans and collectors, because it does have that NES charm to it. And you can buy it really cheap online. Except from this freak who wants $250. Damn. Plus there's a virtual console as well. But anyway, thank you for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, or even dislike it if you didn't. Also, I encourage you to leave comments below because I love feedback. And if you want to see more VGT videos, please click the subscribe button. Thank you. Fuck.